Welcome back to episode 3 of Vintage Circus Lapbook. Last video, I covered our base here with some coffee dyed paper, and we constructed this. This time around, I'm going to mat. Now, in the back of that circus book, well, actually, in the circus book that I had showed you in the first video, a few of these pages had this metallic print on it. So I'm going to use that, I think, just as the base for the cover. I still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do a closure on this yet. I might be just doing a wraparound of some sort, but until then, I felt I wanted to get some of this covered up. So we're just going to start with the biggest pieces, which be here. I just thought that looked pretty with the coffee dyed paper, but I am going to just distress the edges here as I'm going as well. Actually, I'm thinking, I wonder if I've got a coppery tone in my ink drawer. Something metallic I think would look a little bit better. What have I got? Got some paint box. You know how you got in your mind, you have something, you know you do, but you just can't seem to find it. Unless I used it all. All right, well, I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to see if I can find my copper tone ink, and I'll be right back. All right, well, I searched high and I searched low, and I couldn't find any metallic, but I do have some of these. These are old inks. They're fluid chalk ink pads, and they kind of got the colors that go with that. So I'm just going to do a little bit of dabbing of those colors along with my Distress Oxide and just see how that works. I guess just use what you got. I think that's not too bad. Blending it in there. Yeah, all right, that'll do. Just to take the edging off of this a little bit. And get around all the corners. Sometimes I guess we just forget that what we've got and to use it all up. That's working good, actually. I think I've had these in my stash forever. All right, so now let's see. That's not that one. I pre-cut all the papers to fit, just cut down on time, but now it's just a matter of, like this one was the cover, the inside cover, and then they've got the outside cover. So I just cut them out. I thought works nice. I will still figure out how I'm doing my closure, but for now, I thought I better cover up the side, get me kind of in the groove. I always like to at least do a little bit on the outside. It just carries me through the theme. Just my thing anyways. So I'm going to just do, this is a little bit out of my element too, because this is vintage circus, but it's almost, I don't know what I want to call it, not grunge, but steampunkish, and I don't really do steampunk very well, but we will give this our best shot. There, I am going to include, I've been rusting up some pins and bulldog clips and things like that to also include in this lap book. I guess that's what I'm going to call it, is a lap book for lack of anything better. But it's not going to be just a book. I also am going to put in a few spots of storage things. So I'm peeled my tape off, but I'm going to definitely get some Fabri-Tac on here. And let's see. Get this lined up pretty straight. All right, there we go. It's official. We have started covering. Let's see. So now I've got the 2-inch spine here. And again, I'm just going to work the edges a little bit with this ink and age it up a little. Add this on here. And I'm going to flip it over because I want to try and make sure I get all sides here. It's actually turning out a little bit better than I thought. I'm just kind of randomly using that, and that is giving me the look I was hoping for. So that's good. Now I'm going to put my 2-inch spine. So I cut these ones down, and I just I've already taped the smaller ones. But I also inked the edges so that you didn't get that white from the pages on here. It's just a personal preference I have. I don't like to see that white edge. But it's totally up to you. And get this on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover up all of these. I don't think you need to see me cover up every little piece. And then I'll be back for the next stage. Okay, so I've covered my lapbook here. Distress the edges and that, and it's turning out pretty good. So earlier I said in the back here I wanted to create a spot to have 3 signatures, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this back side here and put those eyelets in and lock that idea in permanently. So I'm going to take this leftover piece I've got here and I will cut it to fit. So my spine is 9 inches high. So I'm going to just do a hair underneath 9 inches. I think that'll work. And then I think this is enough to cover sides. Perfect. All right, so before I put this on though, I want to make sure that I've got my marking spots for my eyelets here. So I'm just going to get my pokey spot, and let's see. This is supposed to be a 1/2 inch, I think. I'll just check here. So they're a 1/2 inch from the top and a 1/2 inch from the bottom. And I'm just going to poke it all the way through. I've got my little foam mat underneath, just so that when I do set my eyelet, I've got my spot perfect. But I am going to mat this first, as I want it to be covered. So just making sure that it's definitely marked and visible from the other side when I set the eyelets in. Let's just make sure. Oh yeah, see, they're poking through, so that's good. That should work just fine. So I'm just going to distress the upper edges here just a tad bit, and the bottom just a tad bit, just to make sure it's all good. All right, and I think now I'm set, because I just want it just ever so slightly off. I think that's good. So I'm going to tape this up then. And then we'll tape and glue it, put it into place, and then I can actually put the eyelets in. And at least that is done. I'm not changing my mind anymore as to what I'm doing there. I am kind of winging this, so I've got a vision in my head and I'm trying to just get there. You know how sometimes you're just not sure if you can make it go from your vision in your head to actually transform on paper. So I'm also going to run some two-sided tape right down the inner spine here. Not going quite to the edge. That's what the tape on the back of the paper is for. But this is just so I make sure I'm actually getting everything in here nice and secure. I am still going to add glue as well, but I just want to make sure I've got everything stuck in its spot. And because it's going to go over the other side here, you can see it's going to go over. I'm going to run another bead of tape right on the other side of this hinge as well, just for extra security. And I'm just going to make sure that these are definitely secure. All right. Well, moment of truth, we're just going to do her. Peel up the tape. Okay. And run my bead of glue down the middle of the spine here, in between the taped areas. Okay, I'm going to take off the tape on the back of my paper here. And make sure I don't run it through the glue until I'm ready for it. Okay, so we're going to line it up top to bottom and side to side. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this side, because where we have that 1/4 inch gusset, we do want to make sure that we're getting in there so that it doesn't bubble. So, and remember we did put two-sided tape in there, so this should, in theory, you can see it gets in there. And we want to work that in and work the spine. Perfect. Work it each way. And then just make sure we are definitely secure top to bottom. Perfect. So that is ready now for us to put the eyelets in the back side here. So I'm just going to cover up my ink pad so that I don't run my sleeves through it. Now, I'm going to be using fine elastic, so I'm trying to think of what colors of eyelets to put in here. Got funny colors, I got white colors. I'm just going to go and see if I've got some nice metallic ones to put in, and I will be right back. All right, so I just went through my stash, and I've got some of these copper ones, which I think is perfect. So I'm going to need 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I better grab 2 in case I mess it up. I think these will be perfect. All right, so I'm getting my memory keepers chomper here, and I'm going to do it on the little side. And I'm just going to line this up. So the little side, yes, make sure I got it the right side. Okay, got one. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm actually going to go ahead and chomp them all first, and then I can set the eyelets, I think. At least on each side, I think will be easier. Keep getting a little bit stuck in there. Not the best person to be using this chomper. All right. I think that's good. Let's see here. Hopefully I didn't make this too thick for the eyelets. Chomp. Oh, I think I'm good. All right. Because that's something I did not take in consideration was the depth of the eyelets for these. That's looking good, actually. Just going to trim away this little extra piece of paper. I don't want it sticking out from around my eyelet. It's just the piece of tie back that I have in there. So I don't want it showing. So let's just make sure I've got it all out of the way. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to repeat the process for the other side. I think those are looking spectacular. So I'm going to chomp, and I've got my gauge still on here from the other side, so I should be. Of course, I'm going to have to do it a little bit more. I didn't line it up as well. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, and 3. I'm just going to trim away that tie back and this paper and just clean that up before I put the eyelet on. All right, let's see here. That's a tight one. Just getting the piece from the back side. There we go. All right. I'll set this one. 2. Oh, see now, yeah, definitely don't want that tie back sticking out. 2, and I mushed that one a little bit much, but I think that's all right. Put that one in, and that's 3. Perfect. So then that is how it looks. I think those look perfect. I didn't even need the 2 spares. So that's perfect for when I'm going to string my stuff through. Now, I think at this point I only have white thin. I will have to get some black round thin. I think I've only got this black flat, which I don't think I want that. I wonder. Yeah, the white just doesn't look as good, but I'm wondering if I could color the white with some of my inks here. Move that away. Let's give that a shot, because I've been having a hard time finding any round cord that's not just white. Oh, see, there we go. I could do this. That's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm just gonna figure out how big of a piece I need, and I will cut that 3 times, and then I'm just going to color them with ink myself. That should do it. All right, so I'm going to need about that much 3 times. Okay, so let's just do that, because I've got lots of this white. 2, 3. Perfect. So I got 3 with the white, and I'm just going to rub it with the ink, and this should work. I think I'll start with my Distress Oxide though. Oh yeah, look at that. just going to take a little bit. I'll do it a couple of times here. That'd be perfect. So I don't want it totally done. And these ink pads that I'm using, they come out. They've got the little thing on here to come out. So I'm just going to take those out and color this up a bit more too. And I've got a variety of colors here. So I think, there we go. That's working. I think by the time I do all 3 strands on here, that should cover it up nicely. I'm just going to put you on hold and I'm going to work on this. Okay, so I'm mostly done this cord. It's actually turning out better than I had thought. I used all 3 colors that I've been using, and I'm just, you can see I've got a few pieces left. Hopefully, there. I think, ugh, got ink all over me now. That's all right. I'm thinking this is looking good. I don't mind a little bit of the white showing, but I think that's perfect. So then I'm going to tie these on and just see how this goes. All right. So I'm going to start on this one, thread it through, move that out of the way, thread it through each eyelet, open it up, and perfect. I'm going to do that for all 3 of these. Lace it through, and I'm tying them pretty tight here. Oops, because I want them to be snug. It's good. And last one. Wow, this is working out better than I thought. Excellent. All right, last one. All right, so now I'm just going to trim them off. Perfect. They look pretty good. So I'm going to flip it over so we can take a look at the back spine. Look at that. That actually worked pretty good. This one I'm just going to... Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's perfect. Adds a little bit of interest in there. It's not white. They're all a little shaded. Perfect. All right. So that is, we've made a good start today. We've covered this all up. We put our 3 eyelets in, and we've got our strings ready to go. And next, I'm not sure what we're going to do next. I think what I want to do is address what I'm actually doing under each of these flaps here, but that will be for next video. And again, please hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you find out what I'm doing when I'm doing it. And hopefully you are creating something of your own, or following through, or even just plain old watching, seeing what I'm up to. It'll be great to see you again, and have a great day.